This is Apparent versus Intrinsic Luminosity by Ahmed, Marianne, Jennifer, Braden, and Michael. Intrinsic luminosity is the amount of energy that is emitted by an astronomical object, such as a star or a galaxy, in a given unit of time. Apparent luminosity is the amount of visible light that reaches our eyes, also in that same given unit of time. Apparent brightness can also be called flux. The main difference between these two depends on distance. In intrinsic luminosity, anyone who is measuring the brightness of the star should find the exact same value, no matter their distance or where they're located. However, in apparent brightness, it depends on the location of the observer. So one person may have a different apparent brightness for a star compared to what the other person may have on a different side or a different distance. Once we understood the concept of luminosity, we suddenly realized that it can be used to tell us the temperature of stars, which can lead to the stage of life, the type of the star, and the mass of the star in the main sequence. We also understood that luminosity is widely used in a lot of diversified fields, even photography, which is pretty different than astronomy. Luminosity is very talked about in our Astronomy 1013 class. It tells us energy. It relates to Stefan-Boltzmann law, which is a bunch of random letters that you probably never want to see. All this law basically says is that radiance is equal to energy from a black body in terms of temperature. Understanding a scientific concept is very similar to understanding how to bake a cake. When baking the perfect cake, you need to know the exact amount of the ingredients in order to make the cake perfect. If you don't know the exact ingredients, you must come up with different theories that determine how much of each ingredient you should include for the best possible outcome. In the same way, when examining the luminosity of a star, a scientist must come up with plausible theories and put those theories to test in order to come out with the most perfect conclusion. Specifically, a scientist can come up with theories and observe exactly how both apparent and intrinsic luminosity are related to a star's temperature, age, and color. Some improvements that could have been made was to determine the difference between brightness and luminosity from the beginning, provide visuals or interactive activities to allow students to experience it firsthand, give analogies for students also to relate, and repeat the difference between these two. Thanks for watching!